Screen time. You probably already know and don't need to be told again that less of it is better for you. I never found that hearing this made it that much more compelling for me to spend less time on my phone. But if you're anything like me, you might have something you enjoy doing, like an interest or a hobby, which you used to do more of. But as time goes on, life just seems to keep getting in the way of making time to do this thing. For me, that's drawing, which is something I love and I always intend on making more time to do, but never actually really get around to doing. When I look at my average screen time on my phone per day though, which is 6 hours and 8 minutes as of last week, I can't help but think, what if I spent that time drawing instead? Because clearly, if I can spend an average of 6 hours and 8 minutes a day on my phone, I can probably make some time to draw. So over the next few days, I'm going to try swapping out my screen time for drawing. We'll see how much my screen time goes down by, and also we'll see if I feel any different towards overcoming my resistance towards drawing. Out of interest, I recently joined a part-time art and design program, and I'm currently wrapping up a drawing course. Weirdly though, I noticed that even though I really enjoy going to the in-person studio classes and drawing there, I struggle with making time to draw outside of class, and I always put it off, which is kind of a problem because we are supposed to finish drawing our assignments outside of class. So basically, I have a few assignments which are due at the end of this week, which I still need to finish. One of them is almost completed, but the other ones still require quite a bit of work, which I'll show you now. I'm going to start with this drawing, and I'm also going to time myself to make sure I get enough hours in. In case you're wondering what I'm using as a reference for drawing, I started these drawings in my classes looking at the actual physical objects, and then in order to finish everything at home, we take a photo on our phones at the end of class to use later. So I will technically be looking at my phone while I draw, but since it's for the purpose of looking at my reference photos, I'm not going to count that as part of my screen time.
The spout looks kind of funny. Oh, it just actually looks like that. I was like,
Yeah. No,
okay. I thought you drew it all crooked. I was like, that's
No. That's just like, it's just a weird looking pot. It looks very flat at the moment still because I'm not done like doing the background.
This, I can't help but think it's like a Teen Chang Go, you know what I mean? Like those.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So it's been a little over 2 hours now, 2 hours and 11 minutes to be exact. And I'm feeling a little bit stuck and a bit cooped up inside, so I'm going to take a break, go to the gym, run a few errands, and then I'll come back in the evening. So I'm back now and I'm going to continue drawing. I actually went and took a shower and had dinner after I went to the gym, so it's already 9:30 p.m. So I'll see if I can continue for at least another 3 hours. Hopefully closer to 4, but we'll see. I actually admit I got tempted earlier to just sit around after I went to the gym and watch some content. I actually opened Netflix and started watching just something random for about like 15 minutes before I caught myself and was like, okay, this is not the plan. So I put my phone away, went and took a shower, had dinner without looking at my phone, and yeah, I'm just going to get back into it. Starting the timer again for good measure. Oh, oops. Oh, shit. And going to start the timer again now to keep myself accountable. The hardest thing on this first day was definitely just getting started, including getting started again after taking a break and being distracted by my phone. I don't really have an issue continuing to draw after I start. I mean, I actually really enjoy it. But I think like with a lot of things in life, if you know there's something challenging you need to do, you kind of want to procrastinate starting it. For instance, I was putting off finishing drawing this pot because I've never drawn anything like it before, and I knew I would probably struggle a bit with drawing it. So I actually lost track of time and it's already been over 4 hours. It's not perfect, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. So it's day 2 now. I just realized that I forgot to show you guys where I got up to last night, so I'll do that really quick. I think I'm decently happy with the state that this drawing is in now, except for this part here where I need to fill in the shadows still. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then I'm just gonna move on to my next assignment because, to be honest, I could probably spend like even another couple hours just touching things up here, but the goal here is to actually get these assignments done first and not perfect. So I'm gonna start the clock again for today and let's get into it. Okay, so it's been a little over 3.5 hours. I did take a brief break for lunch earlier and I didn't count that, but aside from that, I've just been drawing. I'm getting pretty close to done for this piece. I just need to fine tune the bottom half of this mannequin that's lying down a bit, and then also finish up the background, darken it a bit more. But to be honest, I'm getting kind of tired of working on this piece, so I think I'm gonna take a break and then maybe I'll move on to my final piece and then come back to this one later. We'll see how I feel after I take a break. Okay, so I'm back now and I'm probably going to continue drawing for another hour or so, break for dinner, and then go for a little longer after that. Something interesting that I noticed earlier after I came back from my walk and when I was chilling a little bit before I took a shower was that when I started scrolling on my phone, the longer I scrolled, the more resistance I actually felt to stopping and then starting drawing again. I didn't observe this yesterday, but I did today, and once I did, I actually caught myself and stopped scrolling much faster compared to yesterday. Just thought that was something interesting that was worth sharing. Anyways, let's get back into it. Okay, so I kind of lost track of time again and over 4 hours have already passed, so I'm gonna call it a night. All in all though, I'm pretty happy with my progress today. I feel like I drew a lot faster today than I did yesterday, especially given that this final piece I'm working on is the hardest one that I've done so far. What I actually lost track of time doing tonight was trying to figure out how exactly to draw this glass bottle with light reflecting off of it because I've never drawn anything like this before. I feel like it looks not too bad, or at least I feel like it's the best I can do right now, and I've made enough progress that I'm happy to just put this down for the night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3. It's day 3, and I literally dreamt about drawing last night, so there's that. Anyways, let's get started. So 3.5 hours have passed already, and I think my progress has been pretty good overall. Got a little bit stuck doing this can here, but got through it. I've moved on to drawing the handle of this pot, and then I'll also actually get the right side of the pot filled out, and then also work on the lid some more. But to be honest, I'm getting pretty tired of drawing, especially since I went for over 7 hours yesterday. So I think I'll wrap things up a little earlier today, and in any event, I need to move on to doing some other stuff that's not drawing this evening. I'm going to keep going for a little longer now, and then I'll show you guys where I get up to when I finish. So quick change in plans actually, and a change of clothing, but Lloyd actually needs the home for filming something this afternoon, so I'm gonna go out and get some art supplies instead. I don't think I'll have time to draw again today, so if I don't, I'll show you guys where I got up to. I didn't end up drawing any more that day, but I did get shots of where each of my drawings were at before I left the house. So it's been a few days since I finished swapping out my screen time for drawing, and that's because I just wanted to give myself a little time to see how I felt afterwards. While I think drawing for 6 to 7 hours a day was a little much for me given that I'm not like a career artist, I think it still was a really good exercise in just getting me to start drawing more. I do feel more excited right now towards the idea of drawing compared to before, and I don't feel so much like it's something that I want to procrastinate. Actually, I feel like it would be really fun to do this exercise again, but maybe for a longer period of time and fewer hours per day, and just see how that goes. As for my screen time during the 3 days that I swapped it out with drawing, let me calculate this out real quick. Like I mentioned, I had my phone open while I was drawing because my reference photos were on there, but I'm not going to count that as my screen time. So after taking that time off, my average screen time was 1 hour and 48 minutes per day, which is definitely a big improvement, even though I didn't fully succeed in replacing all of my previous screen time with drawing time. Something else interesting I noticed right before I sat down to film this was that my average screen time over the last few days, i.e. after I finished swapping out my screen time with drawing, has actually gone down by over an hour each day compared to before. I think after 3 days of just spending a lot of time doing something I like instead of scrolling on my phone, I've generally felt less inclined to use social media and instead have been getting out and doing more different things. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know if you guys like this style of content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.